guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are unboxing the iPad 10th generation. Yes, this is iPad 10. I've got a 64GB Wi-Fi only here, and this is in the yellow color. So really looking forward to getting into this and seeing what this is all about. Now, I am somebody who uses an iPad mini. Really love my iPad mini. I did an entire video talking about how I went from an M1 12.9 iPad Pro down to an iPad mini and my use cases with using that device. But over the last, I guess, probably 6 months, I've kind of noticed that I want a bigger screen. The iPad mini is a great iPad. Love it for an entertainment value. It's one of the best iPads for consuming media in like a really nice format. However, it's not the best when it comes to using an Apple Pencil, in my opinion. It's really small. For my big hands, you know, it doesn't fit on the page or on the actual iPad. So I've been looking for a new iPad, and I've been debating the iPad Air, the 11-inch Pro, and also now we've got a new iPad. So let's see what it's all about. First thing I'm noticing, we don't get any packaging, like plastic packaging on here. We just get the pull tabs. So we've got one up the top here, which just grips off, all paper now, and then one down the bottom here. This is only 64GB. It's not the full, full thing. We're just gonna try it out because I definitely normally have used 256GB, so I'm gonna try and see how far 64 gigs can get me. I really wish they made it starting from 128GB, but that's only the Pros. That actually starts that 128GB size in. Anyway, we'll move the iPad out of the way there. We'll check a look at that in a second. And inside we do get some new goodies. So the first thing we get is a new braided cable. So we get a braided cable even on the cheap iPad, not just the new iPad Pros, because this does come with that. But Apple is going all braided on everything. Probably going to get braided iPhone cables next year, especially when they move now to USB-C, which is definitely rumored. Of course, we also get a power brick in there as well, so they are nice. And then inside then, there's nothing else. Nice to see that we're getting those braided cables though, because they are definitely better than the other ones. We do get then, of course, some other bits. We get stickers, and unfortunately they are just white, not branded in the colors, which is unfortunate. Information, and then we get a guide here. Obviously, with it being new hardware, this is, I guess maybe useful for some people, but not useful for others. There it is. So the iPad itself then, we have gone for the yellow color iPad, and yeah, I'm hoping this is going to look good, but to be honest, it's not as popping as I thought it would be. You know, it looks how it does on the camera, to be honest with you, but it's not as yellow as I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be more vibrant. Yeah, it just looks like a greeny gold in a weird way. The iPad itself, though, definitely having a bigger iPad in your hand is definitely different from my experience with the iPad mini. So yeah, it's also really weird now. I know a lot of people are liking this, but like having the camera there in the middle, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a camera now in the middle. So when you dock this on a keyboard, which by the way, we will have the keyboard in, stay tuned for a video next week. The keyboard just didn't get delivered today. But yeah, now you can dock this in a keyboard, and yeah, now you have the camera then in the middle, which is good from that point of view. But I am somebody who very much disagrees that an iPad should have a keyboard, because the software isn't there. The keyboards are overpriced and really expensive, and basically take the price of an iPad up to the price of like a MacBook. And then when you're comparing those two, you most definitely should just get a MacBook. I am somebody who believes that an iPad is an iPad, and it is a reader. It is a web browser. It is a bigger version of your phone for like video games or whatever. But one of the biggest features I like about an iPad is consuming media, watching a film with your AirPods Max on, or just your AirPods. You've got now speakers on the one side and speakers on the other side, so you get the stereo speakers. So this is a really good iPad from that point of view. So yeah, I disagree. The sun's just disappeared. So yeah, I'm somebody who very much disagrees that an iPad should have a keyboard. But let me know your thoughts on that down below. Do you agree? I just think it just takes the price of an iPad up to the price of a Mac, and it's just when you get to that price in, you can't compare. So opening up the iPad now for the first time. This is the only negative to this product there's two negatives to this of why I wouldn't get one of these. The first being no Apple Pencil 2 support. I'm assuming it's because of the camera there on the right hand side. There's no magnets. This actually supports the Apple Pencil 1. Now in these images you can see how you have to charge it. The Apple Pencil 1 only comes with a lightning port on the end. It doesn't come with USB-C, and of course they have changed this now to be a USB-C charging port, as we saw from the cable, which is a good thing. Definitely needs to move away from lightning. However, you know, the pencil support is definitely lacking in just keeping it to the first generation pencil. So I am feeling a bit down in the dumps about that. I'm not really a massive fan of that, and yeah, it's just one of those things. It is a real shame, in my opinion, that they've decided to do that. The other thing that I don't like about these cheaper iPads, and the one feature that I always look for on an iPad, is the display. Now this is not a fully laminated display. It's annoying that it's not. I think with Apple Pencil support, whichever iPad there is, I think every iPad should have the fully laminated display. It just takes that experience away from me, and when you've not used a fully laminated display, it's very hard, I think, to go back and actually use that. So, you know, it's one of those preferences that I have. Like for an iPad, for me, I wouldn't entertain an iPad that doesn't have that fully laminated display. So I have just booted up the iPad really quickly. I haven't logged her in and stuff, and this is what we're looking at. The screen itself, I think from first impressions, is pretty bright. If I just make it as bright as I can, it is okay. It's not like the best iPad. It's definitely not an iPad Pro level. I mean, I have used the M1 one, which basically does have the liquid retina display, which is the best display in that sense. I will say though that the actual lamination doesn't seem to be as like worse as it was before. You don't actually get that depth effect that I had before. It does feel, you know, very much, you know, more or less on the display, which is a good thing, because this would be a contending iPad for me. But the Pencil 2 support is a big no-no for me. I'm not going to buy another pencil at all. I'm not adding another 100 quid to the price, you know, which then you might as well just get the iPad Air. Which has the better chip, has the laminated display, etc, etc. It's really hard not to recommend the iPad Air and recommend this, because I mean, it is, if you want to buy an iPad just for the iPad's sake, I probably would get this. But if you already have a Pencil 2, I probably would just go for an iPad Air. If you had to buy a pencil as well, just get the second one, because the first generation, I mean, I can't believe they still sell it, to be honest with you. But yeah, first impressions of this device, I'm definitely noticing the borders are obviously narrower than they were on the 9th generation, but I feel these borders are actually bigger than they are than an iPad Pro. I think the iPad Pro is a lot narrower than these, even the iPad Mini. But yeah, it just feels like an iPad. I'm going to use this. I'm going to be doing a video over this iPad now in the next coming days of like maybe top 5 things that you can do on an iPad, because there is a lot of things that, as I say, I think an iPad is very useful for. It's definitely not, in my opinion, a Mac replacement. It's never ever going to be, definitely in the current state anyways. But there is definitely some use cases that you can get from an iPad. And you know, why do I buy iPads? Why have I got an iPad? A lot of people don't have an iPad, but I still think there's value in there. Especially in like the job that I had to do, especially in like the type of lifestyle that I want to lead, and I think it's a really good device from my point of view. I'm not a designer or anything like that, so my way of using an iPad will be, you know, from an entertainment point of view, and from, you know, from maybe a work and productivity point of view. So yeah. So there it is. There is the yellow color. I gotta say, I'm pretty disappointed with the yellow color. 64GB iPad 10. We'll have the keyboard coming in tomorrow, but I'll obviously just be going through that. I may do an entire video on that keyboard, because I just disagree with iPads and keyboards. So maybe that one will change my mind. It's still half the price of this iPad. This iPad was £499 here in the UK, and the keyboard was £249 in the UK. So yeah, all of a sudden this is a £750 combination. And then you go to Amazon and you can pick up a MacBook Air M1 for £900. So for £150 more, you may as well get the MacBook. It is insane. So I may do an entire video talking about that. Let me know your thoughts on that down below. But yeah, I'm going to go now. I'm going to start using the iPad, and I will let you guys know what I think of it. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Of course, please do smash the like button down below, and also do subscribe if you like what you see. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.